Okay, guys, we are back. Viva Eve Podcast time. I'm here with Dory Zayas. She is a beautiful patient of ours. She's also a journalist, a writer. She's writing about beauty. She's writing about parenting. She's writing about wellness. And recently you had a really kind of eye-opening experience with us. You had an IUD insertion, which I know a lot of women get done. We do things a little differently around here, as they say. And we offer sedation. We offer pain management for it at Viva Eve. And you took advantage of it, and it brought up a great topic for us, which was around pain management, relieving women in pain. We talk about a lot of this with fibroid patients. What kind of was your experience with pain management as a young woman bringing you here today?
Yeah, I really had no true issues with my period when I was growing up. I don't really remember anything being super painful or out of the ordinary. It really started when I was 21. I have a history of blood clots in my family, so I went to the gynecologist and they were like, you really should have a non-hormonal birth control.
Okay.
So at that point, the options were a diaphragm. Again, I was 21, and I did try that, and it was not successful.
Okay.
That was difficult.
Do they still make those?
I mean, that was almost 20 years ago.
Diaphragms are still
I'm almost 40, so it was basically 20 years ago. Would not recommend that for like a college student.
Yeah.
So the next option was a Paragard IUD.
Okay.
I went in and I truly think I blacked out because my mother has told me that I was sobbing in the car ride home.
Oh my God.
And I was just like a basket case the whole night. I had no idea because I had never had any type of surgery.
Right.
I had never been in the hospital before. So this was my first experience with a doctor like hurting me, not on purpose, but causing me pain. And I think I was shocked. I was appalled that would happen without much warning or notice.
I think having a period where I was telling you earlier before we started rolling, I've had horrendous periods since they started. And so the pain that has come since then has been like, what else? What's next?
It is what it is.
I think having, more like mild period pain as a teen, then having that first interaction with pain coming from a doctor, coming from someone who didn't take the time to manage any expectations or like even care is wild.
Yeah.
And did your mom ever have an IUD?
No.
No? Okay. And then where were you? Were you here in New York at school?
I was in Maine.
You're in Maine.
I did go to school in New York, but I was in Maine with my family. Like fresh out of college. And trying to start my life. So, I really don't remember it at all. And I think I truly just like blacked it out because it was such a crazy, shocking experience that I have almost no memory of even going in the office.
It's wild. We were chatting about the kind of like the origin and the historical markers of women in pain and why there's this discourse around like, women being traumatized by their doctors and why doctors have this kind of reputation. And I saw that I didn't know this until just today, which is kind of wild, but a lot of women's pain was rooted in like kind of like the prognosis was like hysteria. And hysteria, if I'm saying that correctly, is a Greek word that means uterus.
It's fitting for our conversation.
It all just starts from down there, doesn't it? So, okay, you were 21, you got your IUD, traumatic experience. Yeah. Obviously, years go by, you had a daughter.
Yes.
Great, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's time to get another IUD.
Right. So I had that for 10 years, and the funny thing is, I just thought, well, it's going to last 10 years. Like, it's almost worth the pain, which is not the right way to look at it. I know that. But at the same time, you're like, well, this is going to be easy for me. It's easier than taking a pill every day, or it's my only option, or whatever. Right. And it's going to last 10 years. I'm going to be so happy. I don't want a child right now. I'm only 21. So whatever pain I'm going through, it's fine. I'll deal with it for the 10-year payoff of having birth control.
Right.
So yes, in 2019, I had my daughter. And then 3 months later, I went in.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
You had the IUD removed.
I did.
What was that experience?
The removal was fine. It was fairly straightforward. It was easy. They literally just pull it out. And I was shocked because I was planning for the worst.
You're bracing.
Yeah. I was scared.
White knuckles on the chair.
I was scared.
Okay, so you're ready to have the baby. IUD gets pulled out. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And what was it like going from, getting pregnant and going through that process and then ultimately getting another IUD? What was that journey like for you?
Coming out was, like I said, taking the IUD out was totally fine. And I was very lucky that I pretty much got pregnant right away. I had a fairly straightforward pregnancy, no real complications. My daughter was breech, so I did have a scheduled C-section. We were not able to turn her. So that was planned and known. So that was fine.
Expectations were managed. Look at that.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
I was aware of what was happening, which was appreciated.
Yes. 5 stars.
Yeah. So 3 months later, I was ready to go back on birth control. And my doctor said, okay, maybe let's do the Kyleena IUD. So I said, great. So I went in the office. It's, again, it's a short procedure, as in maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes you're in the office. The actual IUD insertion is maybe only 5 minutes. It is short. Yeah. But when you're in pain, 5 minutes is a really long time. So I got my IUD, and when I looked back in my chart, it said patient-reported pain as a 0 out of 10. That was not my experience. And I'm pretty sure I made it known
15.
that I was in quite a bit of pain during, and they're going as fast as they can. I loved my doctor. She delivered my daughter. Yeah. She was great. It wasn't her fault. It was just that she, she's doing the best she can, but it's a painful process and experience.
And it's like marking a chart as 0 out of 10 on the pain scale when you know your patient is, in some sort of excruciating moment, albeit fleeting, right? 5 minutes. It's not 5 days. Yeah. But still, it's just, and especially, we kind of, I think, assume that having a female doctor will mean that, she can empathize. She knows what I'm going through. She's going to look in all the corners and mark all the boxes that maybe we might presume a male doctor might miss because it's not their lived experience. But that's not always the case.
And I don't even think it was her, and I don't think she did it on purpose. I think it was just that I was part of a large hospital system at that point, and I think they just never answered. I don't think she ever answered the question, so it just automatically filled in as a 0.
Right. Just like whatever.
And I don't think she even really,
it's interesting.
said what I was actually feeling. So I think it was just like an auto fill.
Right. And that's the thing is that a lot of women, they end up going into the hospital system for procedures like this. And I talked to our marketing team, our operations team a lot about how at a larger practice like Viva Eve here, we have the resources that are kind of like up there with a hospital, right? But you still kind of get this more personalized experience when you think of a more, mom and pop kind of doctor's office and the experience of like maybe, we think of those I think about the doctors in my small town growing up and how they know your name and your neighbors and things like that. And so educating women on, you don't have to go into a huge system and just be a number on a list. And then you don't have to go somewhere that maybe the treatment options are really limited. There is that kind of Goldilocks space, and I think you found it here. Yes. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about how you came to Viva Eve and your experience with us and how that was different for you.
I started coming here years ago, almost 4 years ago, as a writer because it was, I don't know if it wasn't a new practice, but it was something that
This one was new. The Manhattan office we just opened.
So I was working with your team, and I was invited to come in, and I was looking for a new gynecologist. After I had my baby, my previous doctor left her practice, and I just was looking for someone new, and I wanted that personalized care, as you mentioned. I did grow up in a small town, and it is true, everybody knows everybody, which is good and bad. Right. But for a doctor, you do want someone that actually cares about you, and sometimes in New York City, that's hard to find. So I've been coming here for years. I really love that I feel like a real person and a real patient, and I'm not just like a number that they're trying to rush me out of here. One time I was literally here for 2 hours, and I called my mom and I said, I had a great day at the gynecologist. I actually almost had fun there.
Right.
It's
not the worst thing.
Silly, but my mom was like, what? And I just thought, because I was just happy and relaxed, and I wasn't stressed out, and it's a comfortable office, and everyone was nice to me.
It's awesome.
And I just felt cared for, which I feel like, again, is hard sometimes in New York with other doctors, that you don't get that personalized experience. So it was just kind of new and different and refreshing. So I was almost like, that was a good time.
Right.
Like, I'll go back.
Yeah. It's surprising, right? Like, where you can actually, I think, like, especially, you know, in our reproductive years, I can't speak for you, but I know that going through, like, trying to build a family, you make decisions every day based around just your body and what's happening with it. Am I in pain? Am I bleeding?
Yeah.
What clothes can I wear? Should I take the subway? Will I be comfortable? So many little micro decisions.
Yeah.
And so when we go to a place that is really meant to service your whole vessel of how you move through the world, and it's not a horrible experience, it's very refreshing.
Yes.
So I'm really glad you came. So you came for, and you also did an IUD insertion.
Yes.
Did you ask about sedation? Did you ask about pain management?
I must have, again, said, listen, I've had 2 IUDs before. Both have not been great experiences for me. So I'm sure the doctor here, I've seen a bunch of doctors here actually, and I love everyone. Great. But I think at the time they said, well, we do offer sedation during IUD insertion. And I was like, I've come to the right place.
Right. The sky is cracked open.
This is it. Awesome. I'm meant to be here. Yeah, I just was like ready, willing, and able to do anything to avoid that pain again for the 3rd time. And I was just so elated to know that that was an option for me.
So we did like a light sedation.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I came in the morning. I had a light sedation. I really don't remember anything, but
in a good way.
Yes, in a good way. I was happy about it. Yeah. I didn't black out from PTSD, but I peacefully drifted off into sleep, and I woke up and someone gave me juice and it was great. And then I went home like 2 hours later. Like, the whole thing was done. I went about my day. I picked up my daughter from school. Like, it was no big deal.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so nice because it's like, even though it's 5 minutes, being so conditioned to feel like, okay, it's 5 excruciating minutes, but like, I guess what's 5 more minutes of pain in this body?
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you advocated for yourself, you know, just saying, I've done it twice before, I don't want it to be like that again.
Right.
And I'm happy we were able to obviously offer this. I know that, you know, sedation's a big deal. Not a lot of practices can do it when they're not in like a huge, you know, hospital system. So,
and I don't think many women even know about it, because I posted on my Instagram story that I came here and I was sedated for my IUD. And I had people respond like, I didn't know that was an option. I want that. Yeah. Or my friend was saying, getting an IUD was the most painful thing of my life aside from having a baby. Yeah. And that's crazy. Like, that's a pretty remarkable statement.
That's up there.
To say, like, and she told me that her doctor was like, take a Tylenol and you'll be fine. Oh my God. It's like, no, you won't be fine. Yeah. This is super painful.
Well, I'm so glad you posted about it. You shared it. That was a big thing a couple summers ago. This young woman went viral for talking about, she got back in the car after her IUD insertion. She was sobbing. Yeah. And I talked to her the first time. And I was like, we got to talk about this more. Yeah. And so we started creating more content around this and more educational content, and really trying to help as many women as possible know that there are options, especially with, you know, you and I are I think, the same age, and we've got little kids. But there are women who are in their 40s that have teenage daughters who are getting ready to usher them into this world of gynecological care. And the more we can educate, you know, elder millennial, Gen Z, or Gen X, I should say, around these options, it's like you don't have to pass off that generational
trauma
to your daughters.
No. You know? I mean, my daughter's only 6 years old, but I do hope that she learns to advocate for herself. I think finding a doctor and a practice that will listen to you, answer your questions, give you the options, because again, people don't even know that this is an option and it's not available everywhere. So finding the right place, the right doctor that will truly care for you and make sure you're comfortable makes all the difference.
Yeah. When you're going to do that for her, right? Like it's Start small.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Awesome. Of course. Well, Dory, thank you so much for coming and talking to us about this and sharing a lot of your personal experience. I know it's not always easy to throw it out there, but you are amazing. We absolutely love you as a patient and a writer. And I'm so happy you did this. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for your daughter and her daughter.
Aww,
it's all happening. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas. It's June. No June gloom over here.